What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk about one of the most popular theories for the Jurassic Park series that's been around for over 2 decades now. So you may have grown up watching the Lost World Jurassic Park like I did, and you may also have not been old enough to read the books these movies were based on back in the day, in the time in which they were coming out. And during the build-up to the T-Rex getting loose in San Diego at the end of the second movie, one of the biggest theories people had at the time involved the crew of the SS Venture getting slaughtered by velociraptors, which is what many people believe to have happened due to this foreboding piece of concept art that was made for the second movie. The mystery behind the severed hand on the wheel, what could have possibly killed everybody on the boat while the T-Rex was trapped, it's been something fans have talked about for years, and it is a dark, ominous, and pretty interesting little theory that I want to go into today. Now, before I go any further, I want to mention to you guys that today's video is sponsored by CuriosityStream, the world's first streaming service addressing our lifelong quest to learn, explore, and understand. CuriosityStream offers award-winning and original documentary films, shows, and series that you can't find anywhere else. With a focus on science, history, and technology, CuriosityStream is the perfect streaming service for anyone that loves to learn. And with plans starting at under $5 a month, you can gain access to thousands of hours of high-quality documentaries and series, with both monthly and annual plans available. CuriosityStream has always been the perfect sponsor for my channel due to their wide selection of dinosaur documentaries in nature, just like this one called Modern Dinosaurs, which has a lot of information on species that have been around for a super long time. Documentaries on nature and the animals that inhabit our world, even today, is kind of something that I think anyone can get into, and this streaming service has a ton of that stuff. CuriosityStream is the entertainment brand for people that want to know more, and it's available on Roku, Android, Xbox, iOS, Chromecast, Amazon, Apple, and several smart TVs as well. New content drops every week, so go to curiositystream.com/Klayton or scan the QR code for unlimited access to the world's top documentaries and nonfiction series. And just for you guys, use promo code Klayton and you're going to save 25% off. So click the link below or go to curiositystream.com/Klayton and save 25% off right now. It's an extremely affordable deal compared to other streaming services, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So once again, thank you to CuriosityStream for sponsoring today's video. Now, truth be told, this is not what would end up killing everyone on the boat before it slammed to the dock. The answer is out there, and the real answer is actually that the T-Rex was responsible for everyone's death itself in the Lost World, but we'll get to that when we get there. For now, I want to talk about the Raptors on the boat theory because, like I said before, it's one of the most popular things Jurassic Park fans would debate about back in the day when it came to the second film, mainly because of the presence of velociraptors on a cargo ship in the first Jurassic Park novel by Michael Klayton from 1990. So this book actually featured an entire subplot that got cut from the film in which dinosaurs were actually sneaking off of Isla Nublar by hanging out on boats and then jumping off once they got to Costa Rica, which is why the theory held so much water back in the day when it came to what killed the people on the ship. With that being said, the biggest advocate for the theory came from people backing this piece of concept art, and further examination of the concept art reveals some pretty cool bits of information in my opinion. Because what you're looking at here, I don't personally believe was ever really intended to be set on the SS Venture at all. Now, that may not be the case, I could be wrong, and someone may come out in the future and confirm that this was supposed to feature a planned idea for how everyone died on the ship. But the way I've always looked at this piece of concept art is that it seems to depict an alternate scene that has nothing to do with the final San Diego incident. The scene in question seems to be, in my opinion, from reading old Lost World Jurassic Park scripts, it's depicting Nick Van Owen holding his flashlight in the worker village while velociraptors stalk about the place. You know guys, originally in the shooting script for the Lost World Jurassic Park, there was supposed to be a pretty big standoff with the Raptors where they would have killed a person that didn't make it into the final gatherer team in the movie named Dr. Judson. This was also a scene that would later get retooled into the original ending of the film where pteranodons tear apart some of the survivors at the worker village on the island. They try to get away in hang gliders. I did a video on that called The Gruesome Jurassic Park Ending We Never Got to See a few years ago if you're interested. It was pretty brutal, but I think that's what this piece of concept art is actually showing, an older version of the script where Nick Van Owen was more involved in the worker village velociraptor sequence. And in reality, I think people saw this and thought that it explained what really went down on the ship in their minds in full by coming up with an idea that velociraptors jumped off of the boat and into the water. I remember being on message boards and YouTube comments. People would talk about that years and years ago in a deleted scene that we never got access to, but the facts tell a very different story, to say the least. You see, no matter how difficult it is for people to really process or understand it, I'm being truthful with you guys, the Tyrannosaurus Rex really was the one responsible for killing everybody on the ship. In fact, there was even concept art and storyboards of it waking up on the boat. This was gonna be in the movie. It was supposed to break out of the cage that Roland Tembo put it in on the island, and the dinosaur even gets accidentally stabbed by a forklift in the tail in a scene that never made it in the final cut. I think there was even supposed to be a hole in the wheelhouse where the Tyrannosaurus Rex was supposed to have pulled the captain through and left behind the severed hand on the wheel, kind of like breaking through it with his face and then killing the guy and leaving. So in the final release, we see the cage Roland Tembo trapped the T-Rex in, all bent up and destroyed, with the cargo hold trying to open but barely holding it together. The Tyrannosaurus having broken out of the cage like what's shown in these storyboards, and then someone lured it down into the cargo hold before it crashed into the dock in a pretty big action sequence kind of way. With that being said, I still hear people to this very day state that it was Raptors. They believe this wholeheartedly, that killed the crew of the Venture, and that it's the only thing that makes logical sense in their heads. And I get it, man. It's mainly due to the severed hand. They're like, how'd the T-Rex get his head in there? But I think this is due to the theory in general being backed up by a scene in Michael Crichton's first book, and the idea of loose raptors on a ship being extremely scary and fun to think about, especially when you pair it with this concept art. I mean, it's a great idea. Alongside the art, of course, I can totally see why someone would think or even want this to be a scene in the final film. I think it sounds awesome. In fact, little piece of trivia for you guys, one of the original ideas for Fallen Kingdom was that Ian Malcolm was on the boat and actually helped sabotage it when he learned that it wasn't going to Site B or something like that. So can you imagine a bunch of dinosaurs loose on a boat? It's like Resident Evil Revelations Jurassic Park style. Sounds awesome, but I don't know. If this was ever planned, like I don't know if it was ever planned for them to have raptors do this damage at an early point in production for the San Diego incident, you know? And if it was, like, I'm gonna, say it's slight possibility, that could very well explain away the concept art. I'll give you guys that. But what I do know to be factual is that it really was the T-Rex that did all of that damage, not only in the final film, but through the build up to filming with storyboards and concept art to boot. Still, like I said, the idea of raptors loose on a ship is extremely cool, and I think it would be fun to see something like that in a future movie or show or something if they ever wanted to make more. Of course, not animated. We do live action here. We're like proper suspense fans of stuff like that, in my opinion. The idea of raptors getting loose and running wild, attacking people on the mainland, that's been a Jurassic Park threat ever since the first book. So it's something that I think could really be done well if they took the material seriously. You got a Costa Rican dock and people have got flashlights, raptors jumping off into the water and panning out some Spanish dudes like, oh, the hupia, los hupia, and then, people getting attacked. Just, something fun, Michael Crichton style. It is a cool theory, man. I would love to see raptors attack people on a boat. And look, with this being one of the most famous and popular fan theories from Jurassic Park guys in the 90s, it would also be cool to see it brought to life in a Jurassic World movie intro or something. It's a cool, scary suspense idea. If they really wanted to, they totally could. But yeah, guys, this was the most popular theory apart from the Tyrannosaurus for what killed the people on the boat in the Lost World Jurassic Park. The real answer is it was the T-Rex, no matter how difficult it is to, wrap your mind around the severed hand thing. That's really a continuity goof, but yeah, the raptor idea is still pretty brutal, but those are all just my own thoughts and opinions on the subject matter. What do all of you guys think? And would you like to see a scene like this adapted in a further movie? Or better yet, what if they, did something like create a brand new scene and put it into the Lost World of raptors jumping off the boat? I don't want to see that, but it does seem pretty cool. Those Lost World raptors, man, yanking people into the long grass and stuff, they're pretty awesome. But whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be on the subject matter, I'd love to hear all about them, guys, in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I'd like to thank all of my game wardens and engine executives, as well as all of my park workers and engine hunters as well. You've all helped my channel immensely, and I'm incredibly grateful for all of that support. Now, I'd like to thank you all for watching today's video and hope that you enjoyed the content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you all consider subscribing. I'll see you all in the next video, guys, and as always, take it easy.